Pilipinas and, of course, enjoying the game. The biggest game in Guam's basketball history, as they say.
QMB was not paying attention for the jump. That's why Guam will get a free crack at it. First possession will be to the home squad, wearing their pristine white to start this ball game. Jericho, good pass to Galloway. They find Simon. Unfortunately, he was stepping out of bounds, but Jericho knew exactly what he was doing. Involved Jumar Fajardo in an early ball screen situation. He's seen it on the other side before.
Part of the scouting report, perhaps, given by Jericho Cruz to try and be more ready against Gilas Pilipinas. First defensive stop of the Philippines against Guam.
Dwight Ramos, a quick post-up look for Junmar against Galloway. Junmar banging down low, looking for space, creating for himself, missing. Tip-in won't go either for Dwight Ramos. So Jericho pulls the trigger from downtown, missing. But the tap goes back to Guam. As Blas picks up the offensive rebound. Oh, good fake. But they don't find an opening. Blas. Again, a ball screen involving Junmar, and that results to a driving lane, a cutting lane for Galloway.
A second chance for Guam. And again, the two-man game involving the big man Junmar Fajardo to try and get him to defend. Step outside the lane to open up that downhill opportunity for Galloway in the last offensive sequence.
Galloway, 6.8 points, 7 rebounds per contest in the FIBA Asia Cup. He is a big part of what they do as he scores the first point of this match.
At 6'10", 29 years old, their best rim protector, who logs about 30-plus minutes. Actually, Ty Wesley, Jericho Cruz, Simon, and of course Galloway. These are heavy minute players for Coach E.J. Calvo.
They don't have a very long rotation, so expect those guys to play heavy minutes in this matchup and throughout the Asian qualifiers. QMB on the move, fakes, almost lost his balance. Miliora Brown misses the one-hander. But you can see Gilas Pilipinas putting attention on interior offense first, setting the bigs first. Ty Wesley from the outside, that's a miss from deep. Rebound for JB.
Second missed dribble here for Guam.
Dwight Ramos gets to his spot and converts in the first bucket for the Philippines.
Second leading scorer for the Philippines in the most recent FIBA Asia Cup. Out of the top players for Coach Timko, knocking in the first field goal for the Philippines.
Ty Wesley going up against QMB. They're trying to deny Jericho Cruz a touch with the presence of Dwight Ramos against him. Wesley posting up against QMB. There's the dig. Good move coming from Ty Wesley. And that will unfortunately be the second foul of Quentin Miliora Brown.
Without Kai Soto, one thing that the Philippines sorely missed in the FIBA Asia Cup was the advantage in terms of height comparison. And this is what QMB hopefully will bring to the table for the Philippines. And his defensive mindset as well. Although, as you mentioned, 2 personal fouls already for the former Fighting Maroon.
See his elbow brush back on the head of Wesley.
Wesley is a do-it-all for Guam at 39 years old. He's a journeyman who's played throughout the globe. Experienced, confident, and definitely loves to represent Guam.
And for Coach Tencon, his biggest asset, his footwork. Really good for a big man. That's Dwight Ramos from the free throw area. Leaves that one long. 42 now for Guam. That will be Simon on the slight hesi. Jericho for 3. Gets it to drop.
First 3-point basket for Guam, and that was in transition. Guam right now ahead by 5. While Ramos with the only solitary field goal for the Philippines in quarter one.
Scotty Thompson, the baseline drive, couldn't finish. QMB with the end one on the putback.
The value of size. Played for the Macau Black Bears in recent times.
In a tune-up match.
Filipinas. Right now enjoying his first stint for Gilas Pilipinas, showing us his versatility. Crashing the glass after Scotty Thompson attracted the help side defense.
7-4 is the score right now. 2 field goals for the Philippines. Meanwhile, Guam has banked on 4 free throws and a triple coming from Jericho. They go up top, well defended. by Scotty. No touch there coming from the defense, and that would be another turnover versus Guam.
You cannot overemphasize the value of Jericho Cruz to the Guam national team. A playmaker, a scorer, a defender, and a winner in his own right in so many
I
ways.
think that's a finals MVP caliber player. As Brownlee is measuring up the defense, creates the space from the elbow, won't go. Junmar, put back is good.
Second offensive rebound, but more than that, first touch for Justin Brownlee. Interior scoring, as you mentioned earlier, wants to be established by the Philippines here in the early goings of quarter one.
A lot of space created by Simon, but he won't get the bounce. Another board for Junmar. Scotty on the push. Great defense from Galloway, but another offensive rebound here for Gilas. Junmar with a sneaky pass to JB, blocked again by Galloway.
Number one good protector, hard at work.
Almost a turnover recovered by Jericho. That's his spot, and that is the result. 5 points quickly in the first quarter for Jericho Cruz.
3 shots, 2 conversions, total of 5 points. That's 5 of the first 9 points coming from the former Sorting Falcon.
Good pass inside. Junmar tried to get an N1. But a smart move coming from the defender just to stay away from the big man and allow those 2 points to happen.
Definitely when you talk about pace, Gilas has the advantage because Guam plays more of a tempo game with a very short rotation, and it's full.
But they will take a lot of attempts from the outside. So Gilas, their defense must be ready for those transition threes. Scotty directing traffic. They fake the handoff. Ball is stolen by Guam. Simon on the push. Now Jericho has it. A long 3-point shot is good for Jericho.
Talk about confidence and familiarity. And Cruz has lifted Guam to another 4-point edge, punctuated by his second triple of the contest.
Can't be surprised. This is what he does on a regular basis.
And he's familiar as well with the 4-point line in the PBA.
Brownlee had to adjust midair, draws a foul, and he will take 2.
Justin Brownlee has really changed the course of Philippine basketball in the international stage in the last few years. The magic continues. The big shot, the big games that he has produced for the Philippines, even in times when the game was almost lost.
Yeah.
But eventually the Philippines will eventually win because of heroics in terms of clutch performance.
Talk about the big shots against Iran and China back in the Asian Games in Hangzhou. You talk about that 3-point shot against Saudi Arabia to send it into overtime in the FIBA Asia Cup. Just adding to the long lore of Justin Brownlee, who misses the first free throw. Second one is good for JB. A really good start for Guam, led by the offense of Jericho Cruz in this match. Now let's see if someone else can heat up here for the white shirts. Jericho attacks, kicks it out. Wesley is open, and he will leave it short. Counter fast break opportunity, good extra pass. UMB misses, tip in is good. For Dwight Ramos, another set of second chance points for Gilas.
Exactly, and again the pace trying to be dictated by the Philippines, but what about Dwight Ramos? Versatility, flexibility, and consistency that he brings night in, night out, playing for this national team.
Only Jericho Cruz has scored the field goal for Guam here in this matchup. Quick spin move, comes up empty. As Ty Wesley was well defended, forward pass to Dwight, and then Junmar, and then JB for the layup.
After a defensive stop, the intentional Jericho Cruz has been Mr. Everything here, do it all for Guam here in the first quarter.
The brain trust of Coach Tempon behind him, including Coach Eli Tenorio, the head coach of our Gilas-Filipinas youth program. Jericho on the attack, the runner, that's his signature, and he ties the ball game. A red-hot start for Jericho Cruz.
Big first quarter for Jericho Cruz.
And then he reads it perfectly as he times the defense against his teammate.
Ends up with a smile after almost forcing a turnover. Personal 5-point run here coming from Jericho Cruz. Almost at take side as well. Guam, but relying heavily on the 3-point exploits of Jericho Cruz.
Alam naman natin, Coach, that's really a big part of their offense. They won't shy away from taking a lot of threes. As KQ, the one-hander signature shot for Kiambao. First 2 points of the matchup for him.
Si Kevin Kiambao or KQ ang biggest revelation dun sa FIBA Asia Cup
Sure.
competition.
Yeah.
Limited minutes suddenly. When he was inserted, played so well that it was a huge part in the rotation for Coach Tim Con eventually.
Good move coming from Ty Wesley as he showed us Gilas not having the same success as their starters in this matchup. CJ, the quick attack, kicks it out. Tamayo, three-point shot. Will go down 21-19, a 2-point lead for Guam still. Jericho versus Newsome. Now they go right back to Ty Wesley. You can see Newsome trying to dig the recovery for KQ, and they get a stop. The push pass to CJ Perez. He is ahead, and he is gone.
7 turnovers forced by the Philippines. Inside scoring turnover points, enabling the Philippines to tie the contest at 21.
But you're liking how they defended that time. The help on the helper, making sure that Jericho will not have a clean look from downtown. Galloway posting up. Jericho, another long three. Won't go this time. Nice positioning on the box out from Tamayo.
Better inside defense for the Philippines, forcing 2 consecutive defensive stops.
CJ, bibitaw ng tres. Can't get it. By Wesley with the easy pickup.
You know how the value of having a good, strong game. We talk about 3-point accuracy. A big part in the international game of basketball.
Three-point shot, no good. Galloway with a rare offensive rebound for Guam. Jericho, siya na hindi diskarte ngayon. Uses the screen from Wesley. Jericho on the snatch back. Another three is launched. Starting to miss now, but they get another offensive rebound. But it'll be Newsome closing out that possession with a defensive board for Gilas. Newsome, baseline drive. Tamayo, extra pass. KQ wide open. Three-point shot rattles home.
Wow. A former Bulldog. Or 2 former Bullpups. Working so well together. And Kiambao now has 5 points off the bench to push or lift the Philippines to a 3-point lead.
Three-point shot for Simon is going to fall short.
Excellent closeout to defend one of the top 3-point shooters of Guam. A double-digit scorer in the FIBA Asia Cup, referring to Simon.
Average 12.3 points per ball game.
Yes, 4 of their starters average 12 points or better. Ross, Simon, Jericho Cruz, and of course, Ty Wesley. Guam now in a 2-3 zone.
Yep, that's why they're trying to adjust. Usually it's Scotty Thompson in that free throw area. Now it's Newsome with the extra pass. Flip shot won't go for AJ Edu as Newsome comes out a bit limping. Let's see if he'll be okay. Spin move once again. Oh, tough make coming from Ty Wesley. KQ. That pass tapped and stolen. Jericho hits the air breaks. That's his signature fast break shot. Scotty Thompson, Kevin Kiambao, Dwight Ramos, Justin Brownlee, and Junmar Fajardo. The 5 now for Coach Tim. You can see the zone offense of Gilas Pilipinas. It will feature a lot of Scotty Thompson parking himself in that free throw area. Meanwhile, 3-point shot. Straight but too strong from KQ. Dwight Ramos goes to Brownlee. JB pulls the trigger. 3-point shot. Strong. Another offensive rebound for Gilas. Scotty, one-hander short.
Window 1.
Scotty to JB. Justin pushed from behind. Gets the N1 opportunity.
And again, Scotty pushing the pace. Not looking for a shot, but trying to prove an opportunity or an opening which he was able to spot. Was streaking down the right side, able to beat the defense of Ty Wesley, believing that somehow we cannot hit all of their shots from the 3 ball. We'll take our chances, but we have to protect the paint because the Philippines scored 16 of its... How many points in the first quarter? 17.
Yeah.
Inside the paint.
Kaya nga yung diskarte, early offense para dito sa Gilas Pilipinas. Scotty going up against Jericho.
May pabaon.
Very familiar with each other. Entry pass to Wesley. The help comes from the baseline. A steal here Stop completed by Scotty. Forward pass to JB. Brownlee. At the stop. Now posting up against Blas. Kicks it out. They swing it to KQ. Opening. Gambao with a finger roll.
Again, forcing a turnover. You can see a different way to defend Ty Wesley in the last offensive sequence in the post. And more ball pressure against Jericho Cruz as well.
7 points coming off the bench for KQ.
Instant offense.
Now Jericho gives it up to Galloway. Ikot nila papunta sa short corner. And then Galloway gets it back. Where is this play going for Guam? That shot goes nowhere. Another stop for Gilas. Kiambao with a no-look pass. A beauty to Dwight Ramos.
One of the best passers for the Philippine value and importance of sweeping the first window for the Philippines, as emphasized by Coach Tim Cone.
Johnson, Galloway, Blas Cruz, and Wesley the 5 for Coach EJ Calvo. They find themselves all of a sudden down by 6 after the quick burst of offense from Gilas Pilipinas. Galloway, awkward move, somehow gets it to drop.
Not really looking for his offense. At least 3 instances where he was so close at basket but opted to pass outside. But this time, looking at the basket and scoring, a basket after a timeout was called by Guam.
We get our first look at RJ Abarrientos. He is the 11th member of Gilas Pilipinas to see action for Coach Tim in this game. Dwight attacking inside, kicks it out. JB for 3. Finally hits one from downtown.
1 of 7 earlier, but we knew that it was a matter of time before Brownlee knocks in his own version of a 3-point conversion. 10 in the game, at least for Justin Brown.
13 after that basket, and now a turnover for Guam. Scotty Thompson waltzing his way in. Putback is there for Dwight Ramos.
And again, Scotty Thompson pushing the pace after a stop. Just trying to put a lot of pressure on the transition defense of Guam, given their short rotation.
Pinakamalaking kalamangan na coach ng Gilas Pilipinas, 9 points. Galloway gets an easy basket inside of the offensive rebound.
Pagkatapos lumama for the Philippine national team in its bid to wear down this opposition.
Ramos and Brownlee have played the most minutes, about 13 for Coach Tim Cone. Meanwhile, Justin Brownlee just delivered another basket. He has 15 points in the game.
Doesn't matter who the defender is. The moment mabasa niya kung paano siya binabantayan, finds a way to score and help out the Philippines.
Back to a 9-point lead for Gilas Pilipinas. Jericho lost the ball, but the referee is saying it will stay on that side. 10 seconds remaining in their shot clock. 1 minute and 43 left in the first half.
First quarter explosion for Jericho Cruz. Second quarter, juggernaut also. He instituted
Possession, Jericho. Muntik makanakaw. Rebound. Will fall on the floor. That will be illegal from Hechanova. Use this leg.
Triple stops, forcing turnovers.
Yeah.
And likewise able to match up well against Jericho Cruz that finally stalled the offensive explosion of Guam here in quarter number 2.
Jumar. Oh, post up for RJ Abarrientos. Rare occasion if we've ever seen one. Justin Brownlee misses on the 3.
Ikaw naman, minsan lang makita na mas maliit si
RJ Abarrientos leaves it for JB. Goes on the side step.
offensive foul against Kevin Cambao. Tama ba?
Newsome, I believe.
Chris
Coach,
Newsome. Chris Newsome. Right. Quarter scoring. Philippines ahead versus Guam, who's only managed to score 12 points here in this period compared to the Philippines, which has 21 points here in quarter 2.
We've seen this coming from Guam. I mean, the quality of that first 5, definitely there. No question, Coach.
Saka mataas yung adrenaline eh.
But when you play them heavy minutes, at some point, syempre aabutan din ng pagod yung mga yan. And when it starts to slow down for their vets, doon nagkakaproblema itong Guam.
Totoo yan. And the Philippines also realizes that this is a team which averaged just 65 points at the FIBA Asia Cup. Even with Ernest Ross in the roster, wala si Ross.
Yeah.
So tapos yung malaking bahagi ng kanilang opensa at yun ay kanilang nararamdaman ng gusto.
You just heard Ginebra chants in Guam? I'm sure.
Are you surprised?
I'm sure napangiti si Gilas Pilipinas Program Director and Barangay Ginebra Governor Francis Chua.
Nakikita ko rin sa ating PBA Commissioner Rudy Marshall.
Right behind us one.
Oh.
And Shanova picks up his dribble. Wesley. Hands it off to Jericho. Great help from Abarrientos, but they leave Calvo wide open, in and out on the triple.
And visibly, wala kang makitang breakdown player who has the ability to go one-on-one and attack inside, except Jericho Cruz, really.
The Cup Asian qualifiers, baseline, out-of-bounds action. First look for Abarrientos. Uses the screen from QMB. Abarrientos. Oh, sneaky play, but he lost control of the ball. A chance now to score. For Guam, fouls to give. So you can be extra aggressive on defense. Jericho goes for the layup, won't go. Try to be fancy with it.
At 7 p.m., right? 7:30 p.m.
7:30. Yeah, 7:30 p.m. will be tip-off for the home game of Gilas-Pilipinas. He's starting things off. On the defensive side, Dwight Ramos, QMB, Junmar, Brownlee, and Scotty Thompson, three-point shot, won't go. You can see them how far they dug to just make sure there will be help if Ty Wesley breaks away from QMB.
At least 2 layers supposed defense there. First, you drop down Junmar Fajardo in the middle spot, and then the cat and mouse on Wesley, and against Simon the shooter with the strong side.
Good extra pass to Dwight Ramos. He attacks, drops it off. Junmar with the easiest of buckets.
And again, the paint points. The extra pass. Attacking the inside. A total of 28 points on the inside for the Philippines.
Early breakdown caused by Scotty Thompson. Ito na, Dwight Ramos all alone, and he will slam it home with both hands.
Second player in double figures. Always consistent. Doing the little things, making the big plays. Philippines down 5, now ahead by 15 in a big 20-point swing.
Hard show there. Let's see how Gilas will recover. They do it ably. And now, Versado. Itong Guam to take a shot. Pressured in the shot block. Tapped out. It will stay with Guam, but with only 3.2 remaining sa kanilang shot block.
Simon is almost at 3 3-point baskets per contest, but so far 0 of 8 here from the outside. And it has really been a big letdown in terms of offensive contribution coming from Simon.
Another miss coming from him.
0 of 9.
And now Scotty pushing. Thompson kicks it out. Junmar from the elbow, and he casually knocks it down.
6-0 down for the Philippines. 1 layup, 1 slam, and that elbow jumper coming from Junmar Fajardo.
By Wesley complaining about something. Feeling that he was fouled the last time out. Wesley will try to get it back. Wala pa rin Junmar with another pickup. Dwight losing control of that basketball. Perfectly timed steal coming from Jericho, and he will leave it to Galloway for this two-hand throwdown.
8 points for Galloway, 8 points for Wesley. And of course, the 15 points coming from Jericho Cruz. That's the entire output coming from Guam.
That will be a foul against Glass, fighting off the handoff. Now they get a chance to score on the break. They go up top, caught by Galloway. Kicks it out, they swing it to Jericho. Attacks the closeout. And hits the layup against the defense of his SMB teammate, Junmar Fajardo.
Why not? 13 points in quarter 1, 2 points in the second, 4 points here in the third. Trying to rally the troops of Guam here.
A miss from Junmar. Luckily, QMB is there to take care of things on another set of second chance points.
6'10 Junmar Fajardo, 6'10 QMB. Definitely a big boost in the frontline rotation for Gilas-Pilipinas.
You have AJ Edu on the bench. You have Kai Soto waiting in the wings. We should see action in the next window as he's still recovering from an ACL injury. The ball will stay with Guam. 5 seconds on their shot clock.
Another excellent closeout on the part of Ramos, forcing Simon to put the basketball down on the floor, which is really not his game. More of a catch-and-shoot player who's been defended well throughout the contest so far.
Maganda yung defense ang pinapakita ng Gilas-Pilipinas. The shots of Guam under time pressure, but Galloway will give them another opportunity to score. Africano seeing his first action by Wesley. Top of the key, 3 is short.
Shot that the Philippines is willing to give Wesley anytime.
Dwight Ramos sees too many defenders inside, misses on the fadeaway jumper, but they will get another chance. Scotty for 3, no. Thompson has yet to score in this matchup. but does have 4 rebounds and 2 assists across his name. Now a much more defender against Ty Wesley. He goes to the spin. Forced to kick it out to Jericho. Cruz now dancing. Takes the shot over the defense of QMB. Comes up empty as Dwight Ramos was knocked down by Ty Wesley. No call with the rebound.
Someone is open.
Junmar facing up. Bumping. That should be fouled. Maybe 2 fouls, 3 fouls against Galloway.
Junmar likes the matchup when he gets that close in the paint. Definitely Junmar has the advantage. Paint points. Philippines 32, Guam 14. Fast break scoring also advantage arrow points to the Philippines.
Baseline out of bounds action. Scotty Thompson, the inbounder, finally sending it to JB. The jumper's good, even with the defense right in front of him.
Kaya napakahirap bantayan dahil maski saan angulo, kayang pumuntos. Normally meron kang paborito eh. Siya wala, lahat eh.
19 points in the game para kay Justin Brownlee, 7 of 13 from the field. And now they go back to Ty Wesley. Bumping, banging against QMB. Had to turn to the other side, ends up missing. Junmar with another rebound. The forward pass is stolen though.
Dito mo nakikita yung quality ng defender. Itong si QMB.
And it's only going to get better the more he plays with Gilas Pilipinas. Jericho, short corner jumper too strong. Brownlee with a rebound and the forward pass is Scotty. Thompson locked up, fouled by Ty Wesley.
Easy call to make. Once again, Scotty Thompson outrunning everyone. Seeing the opportunity to extract a foul from Ty Wesley, who's had to play major minutes once again. Just like Jericho Cruz and of course Jonathan Galloway.
That slow second step, the plant step coming from Scotty Thompson. Ty Wesley is headed to their bench for a bit of a break as he has played heavy minutes in this matchup. 21 minutes already for Ty Wesley.
In comes Samata Figurgur, 6'9", 24-year-old from Chaminacal University here in Guam.
Oh, you love this coming from the Filipino fans in Guam, chanting Japet Aguilar's name. As it has been said that he really wants to wrap things up with his national team career. This might be his final away game. Japet has been doing this in Smart Gilas to 1. Coach, it's been a long time for Japet wearing the Gilas Pilipinas jersey.
Tremendous service to the Philippine national team.
He gets to play one more road game here in Guam and then possibly close out his Gilas Pilipinas stint career at the Blue Eagle Gym, where he played college ball for Ateneo. Another miss from the outside for Guam, and then the forward pass. JB with a catch and the finish.
That has been the sequence here in the third. A defensive stop and a forced turnover leading to a layup on the other end.
Almost an 8-second violation there against Guam, but they recover. Now staring at a 21-point deficit. Jericho against Scotty. Naisahan is Scotty, and now they're on the run. Thompson goes to the Euro. Layup is good for Scotty, and he draws the foul as well.
One of the best two-way players in the PBA. And right now, moving his
29, as they've played exactly the same amount of minutes, 20 minutes and 20 seconds for both those players.
The two leading scorers for the Philippines in the FIBA Asia Cup continues to do the same here in the first window of the World Cup qualifiers. Look at the ball pressure by Scotty Thompson.
You can afford to do it because that will be your first team foul if you're Gilas Pilipinas.
That has been a big ticket, a big element. And this breakaway for Gilas Pilipinas, yung shutting down yung matchups na mayroon sa'yo, taking care of business, walang open driving lanes, maayos na outside defense, laban kay Wesley sa loob.
And Calvo attacking. That shot, I think, was partially blocked by QMB. Another forward pass. Dwight Ramos leads it for Quentin Millora. Brown hits it with the left.
And again, his quickness and mobility. Ramos recognizing this. Good trail job coming from QNB. 6 points in his very first game for Gilas Pilipinas. And a ton of defensive effort on the inside offense of Guam.
Top of the key three. In and out. That shot halfway home already for Calvo, but decided against falling in. So it's 59-33 for Gilas Pilipinas as they get another stop.
19-4 in the quarter in favor of Gilas Pilipinas. 17 all first quarter, 40-29 at the end of the first half. And then this third quarter surge for Gilas Pilipinas.
Short corner jumper is good for Japet.
21-4 in the quarter, first basket for the many-time member of the national team.
That's a three-time FIBA Basketball World Cup team member alongside his good friend Junmar Fajardo. Forward pass now to Scotty Thompson is gone.
7 third quarter points for Scotty Thompson. And suddenly the lead has ballooned
30
to
points.
30.
Yeah.
Tied in the first quarter, 12-point lead at the end of the first two quarters. My goodness.
Galloway had to invent that shot. Won't go for him. Gilas keeps on pushing. Ramos with a bump. Missing on the one-hander though. 2 minutes 30. Ang nalalabi sa ating third quarters. Gilas has dominated this second half so far. And Calvo using the screen. The pass inside too tight. Tap but recovered by Guam. Still coming up empty from downtown. Galloway blocked by Japet.
I've seen that many times over the last decade.
JB for three. Short. QMB quicker to the loose ball. Medyo madulas yung ilalim as a foul will be drawn by Brownlee.
2 against 5 in that last sequence. No problem for the Blue Shirts. Once again, Brownlee not settling. QMB making things happen. Pouring it on. Establishing this huge lead. Under 2 minutes remaining here in quarter 3.
So in the other game from this group, tight as tight can be, 73-72 in favor of Australia with about 6 minutes remaining in that match. And then later in the night we have Japan. Oh, it already started. Japan versus Chinese Taipei and then China versus Korea.
These are all window 1 games. Imagine this starts today, ends on in 2027, the road to the World Cup, which incidentally also leads to the Olympics.
Of course, we all know that the best finishing Asian team will march towards the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics. JB takes care of the second free throw. 24-4 in this third quarter. Utter dominance coming from Gilas. Again, you get to understand why, because the quality is definitely there with the first 3 players of Guam. But when they get tired, when the minutes pile on, then you have an opportunity for the bench of Gilas to really push the pace.
Yes. Matter of time for Gilas Pilipinas to impose its depth. And once again, its preparedness visibly seen, especially here in quarter 3.
AJ Edu defending Ty Wesley. Goes to that familiar spin, but the defense was there, ready to help out. That ball, I think, bounced off of Guam. Another stop for the Philippines.
65 points per game in the FIBA Asia Cup. Philippines close to 79 points per contest. Guam only limited to 4 third quarter points, 17 in the first quarter, 12 in the second quarter.
Yung nangyayari kasi, Coach, Guam keeps going to the same place. The post-up.
Wala naman talaga silang mapupuntahan.
Alam na ng Gilas yung adjustment eh. They've known how to shut it down. Kaya hindi na makahanap ng opensa na gumana kanina yung Guam.
Malaking kawalan din talaga si Ernest Ross.
Sure.
Napakalaking kawalan para sa Guam. Pero hindi na problema ng Gilas Pilipinas yan. At hindi rin sila madaling kalaban, lalo na ng bandang umpisa dito sa kanilang home court.
Back to that post-up. Now they swing it. Jericho goes for 3. Won't go. Put back. Nothing working for Guam.
Still only 3 players managing to score the 33-point output of Guam.
They could go for a 2-for-1 here. Chris Newsome will oblige. 3-point shot, no good. Ball tapped out of bounds.
Isa pang malaking kawalan sa Guam ay yung cold shooting ni Simon. Ni Fukuda Simon. Who I believe is 0 of 8 or 0 of 9.
Yes, coach. That is correct. 0 for 10 na nga. 0 for 5 from 2, 0 for 5 from 3-point.
Deep, siya ang consistent double-digit scorer sa starting unit ni Coach EJ Campos.
64-33, apat pa lang po ang naidadala itong Guam here in our third quarter. Jericho to Wesley, they swing it. Blast for 3. Still won't go. Newsome taps it, but it is recovered by Blas. Extra pass pa. Corner 3-point shot is knocked down by Johnson. At least something positive to end with. Perez, AJ Edu, Carl Tamayo, and Japet Aguilar as a 5 for Coach Tim.
Only a 7-point quarter for Guam in the previous third. But remember, this is not the way the game really started. With Guam firing on all cylinders led by the 13-point first quarter explosion of Jericho Cruz.
CJ Perez touched the ball last, so that will be a turnover against Gilas. You can see that he was trying to set up Japet. That would have been a better idea to take that shot himself as he got a paint touch deep. Tamayo, meanwhile, pressuring up, and he will be called for the foul against Johnson. Haven't seen Kevin Cambao here in the second half after really helping out in the second quarter.
A part of that second unit, the joint forces with 4 starters that elevated the offensive output of the Philippines and put the clamps on the starters of Guam.
Of course, Coach Tim also extending his rotation with Japet, finally seeing some action here in this second half after not playing a single second in the first 2 quarters. CJ on the attack. No good tip in. Couple of chances. Ayaw talaga para kay Carl Tamayo as Hechanova dives to the front row but tosses the ball over to the wrong man. They're down 1 defender. Someone is going to be wide open. Naka-recover pa. Japet! Oh, blocked by Galloway.
At least 3 blocks in the contest for Jonathan Galloway.
Johnson will try from downtown. Ayaw. Rebound for Galloway. Oh, another big-time block, this time coming from CJ Perez.
Was also an excellent individual defender, by the way.
AJ Edu to Newsome. New adjustment there and finishes with the layup.
First basket for Chris Newsome. Philippines in superior control in this contest.
30-point lead. Johnson, Galloway, Blas, Echanova, and Simon still could not buy a bucket in this matchup. Takumi Simon is 0 for 11 now. AJ Edu to Tamayo. They swing it up top to CJ. Perez gagamitin yung ball screen pero nakasona yung Guam. AJ Edu hits the layup with a foul.
Able to get into the restricted zone is what Chris Newsome was able to do. Yan na si KQ.
Substitution, KQ entering for Japet Aguilar, who received a nice ovation mula dun sa mga players and the coaching staff and the bench.
Scored 2 points earlier on a short corner jumper.
That is now a 31-point lead, 33-point lead rather, for Gilas Pilipinas, 69-36. Another foul. SMB on SMB crime. CJ Perez on Jericho Cruz.
Jericho Cruz has been the heart and soul of the Guam national team against Gilas Pilipinas. But not enough weapons to keep in step with the depth and skill level of Gilas Pilipinas at this point.
Against Ty Wesley. Now single coverage against AJ Edu. He's able to hit that baby hook kasi iniba niya na yung diskarte. He did not spin to the baseline. Sa gitna naman siya pumunta.
A rare instance na na-open yung middle para kay Ty Wesley.
CJ goes on the drive. Layup is good.
Massive points inside the paints for the Philippines. Layup after layup for Gilas Pilipinas.
Hindi mo inaalala kahit na hirap na makakuha ng 3-point shots ang Gilas Pilipinas dito sa larong ito. At least they're getting those points in the paint. Be able to dominate this matchup so far, up by 33 as another foul is whistled. This time against AJ Edu.
These two teams will play one another on Monday at the Blue Eagle Gym, December 1st.
Will they take the same flight out of Guam? Maybe. That could be in the books.
Interesting.
Jericho. His entry pass is tapped over by AJ Edu. He has space for three and Jericho misses. KQ, smart move. Tapping it over to Carl Tamayo. Chris Newsome locates CJ. Perez now. Wanted to go to Newsome first. Attracting the contact. Missing the shot was Newsome. Tommy Simon has struggled all game long. Nothing for him so far. Wesley gets a look inside, misses. Tamayo with another rebound. CJ na timing na naman. Ito si Jericho who's all smiles after getting a stop on his SNB teammate. Good pass inside to Galloway. And now Simon, another attempt. Still nothing there, nothing working.
Bold as ice.
You can hear Coach Tim Cohn imploring his guys to still play with pace, still play with speed, keep their system. And CJ Perez knocks it down from deep.
Points off the bench. Only shooting at that clip. But what about the defense of the Philippines against the three-point shooters of Guam?
Approaching the midway mark of our final quarter. Jericho Cruz goes to the corner kay Blas. No openings there. Babalik sila kay Wesley. Poposte na naman. To score. Goes to that hook once again. Yes, he is liking that side of the floor now. 2 buckets here in the fourth quarter for Ty Wesley.
Not able to deny the middle, and Wesley makes them pay once again with 4 points on that same incursion. But the Philippines simply head by 34. Past the halfway mark of the fourth and final quarter.
CJ, pull-up jumper. They step in is good though for AJ Edu.
Looking at the front line right now for the Philippines. Tamayo, KQ, AJ Edu. Really can say, with QMB as well.
Yeah.
This front line is a huge part of the future of international basketball for the Philippines.
Jericho Cruz, hirap na talaga makakuha ng puntos after an explosive first quarter. You know, Carl Tamayo, he slides over to the 3 spot.
Correct.
He replaces Justin Brownlee usually. So definitely great size, especially when Kai Soto is ready to wear his Gilas Pilipinas jersey once again. Coach Tim Cohn going small now as RJ Barrientos comes in for Carl Tamayo. Fresh 14 on the clock for Guam. CJ defending Blas one-on-one. Jericho against Newsome. Will be a kick. Reset to 14 on the clock for Guam.
Took about a quarter and a half for the Philippines to solve the puzzle of Guam. And when the points of attack were defended so well, eventually things started to change in favor of the Philippines, and there was no stopping the Philippines from imposing a double-digit edge at the end of the first 2 quarters, and the third quarter juggernaut suddenly created this gap in separation, which has continued all the way here to the fourth.
Another opportunity to score.
Long Gurgur,
Yep.
4th player to score for Guam in this contest. Panglima na ba?
Pull-up jumper for RJ Abarientos. And that completes it. Everyone scoring for Gilas Pilipinas in this matchup. Hindi pa pala. Si Carl Tamayo has yet to score.
The Philippines will hit its normal offensive output, the 7 to 8 point level. But the way we defended Guam has been very impressive. 42 points only given up.
Another block coming from AJ Edu. This might be a technical foul. Ooh, as Ty Wesley really thought he was fouled after absorbing a block from AJ Edu.
had to handle the defense of multiple big men from Gilas Pilipinas as Coach Tim threw a gauntlet at the #1 post option or scoring option of Team Guam.
We saw QMB first, and then it was AJ Edu as RJ Barrientos hits a technical free throw. Even Dwight Ramos after a switch had an opportunity to defend Ty Wesley. Carl Tamayo had his chance as well. As we're down to the final 3 minutes and 38 seconds. And this is exactly what you want for Gilas Pilipinas. Just establish a flow. Build on the positives coming off, quick but very productive training camp in Inspire. Of course, they also train in the upper deck for a couple of sessions. The extra pass to RJ Barrientos. Onto the slam dunk. AJ Edu is fouled.
Nice pass coming from RJ Barrientos to cutting AJ Edu.
Edu only having a couple of practices with Gilas Pilipinas.
Just like Carl Tamayo.
He joined this team in Guam already. Kasi nga po kinasali itong si AJ. Carl Tamayo, we're happy that his visa made it right before the deadline. AJ also had a strong performance in the FIBA Asia Cup. I mean, who could forget that late three-point shot he landed in overtime against Saudi Arabia to really put that ball game away. Of course, we extend our well wishes to Calvin Oftano, who is still nursing an injury. We appreciate Juan Gomez de Liano, Jamie Malonzo, and Troy Rosario for joining camp.
Part of the 18-man pool for Gilas Pilipinas. 17 points in the first quarter for Guam, 12 in quarter 2. That's 29. And in the third quarter, I believe it's 6 or 7.
Now it's 6 and counting here in the final period.
So that's just 13 points in the second half.
The defense really making a definite impact. Barrientos slicing up the defense, could not come up with a highlight. As that basketball is saved by Guam, they're pushing. Two minutes and 40 seconds before Gilas Pilipinas wraps up its first game, picks up its first win of FIBA Asia Cup. Here we go with AJ Edu slamming it down.
42 points in the last 2 quarters for the Philippines. And the lead is this much.
Cabo on the move. A lot of traffic there as RJ Barrientos sends it forward to CJ. KQ, corner 3. Won't go. Rebound for AJ Edu. No look pass from Barrientos. Reverse layup won't fall for KQ. On the other side, Coach, Australia about to pick up a win, I think, as they're up by 5 points. 19 seconds remaining, but hindi pala ako pwedeng magsalita ng ganyan because we saw what Great Britain and Lithuania pulled off in their own basketball World Cup qualifiers. If you have not seen that game, watch the highlights.
Up 8 points, diba? Up 8 points, losing by 1 at the buzzer.
Meanwhile, a foul is drawn by Guam for the final minute and 38. CJ Perez a little too handsy on defense.
Gilas Pilipinas taking care of business. 1-0 in Group A.
And in our games today, Lebanon beating Qatar by 1 point. Kingdom of Saudi Arabia blanking India 75-51. Jordan defeating Syria 74-59. The rest of the games are still being played, but again, Australia is ahead late in the matchup against New Zealand. Philippines, first quarter, warm-up, and then they were off to the races starting in the second period, especially on the defensive end.
Off to the races indeed. Up and down basketball, looking for early looks. But once again, it was all about the defensive gauntlet that the Philippines threw at Guam. Shutting down the shooters, guarding down Jericho Cruz, and eventually
To another group.
so from 16 teams which started, they'll be down to eventually 12.
We are in Group A with Australia, New Zealand, and Guam. So we will cross over with Group C, which currently has Iran, Jordan, Syria, and Iraq. The top 3 teams of both combined groups, and the best 4th team will march forward into the FIBA Basketball World Cup 2027 in Qatar.
Masterful performance for the Philippines.
More than the offense, it's really the defense, the
really.
adjustments coming from Coach Tim, all on point.
And the effort, really, of each and every player sent in by Coach Tim.
And how about QMB making a definite
Yes.
impact already, plugging in some holes
No doubt.
for Gilas Pilipinas.
Very good addition to the national team.
Tamayo really wanted that one, as he will get his first basket of the ball game. All 12 players scoring for Coach Timko.
Philippines doubling up on Guam. Again, 17 points in the first quarter, 12 points in quarter 2 for a total of 29. 7 in quarter 3 for 36. 7 more here in the fourth and final quarter.
We heard Ginebra chants, now we hear Uwiana chants here. Guam, even a road game feels like a home game for Gilas Pilipinas. As Coach Tim Cohn instructing his wards to just take the shot clock violation.
47 against 14 in the last 2 quarters in favor of Gilas Pilipinas. That's how well the Philippines played in the third and fourth quarters.
10 seconds remaining in this matchup. As Guam will surely learn a lot coming from this experience. Let's see how quickly they make their adjustments, because you don't have a lot of days. They play again December 1 here in the Philippines at the Blue Eagle Gym at 7:30 p.m. 3-point shot goes down for the final basket of this matchup. The dominance from Gilas Pilipinas, picking up their first win of the FIBA Basketball World Cup Asian qualifiers.
Jericho Cruz made things interesting in quarter 1 with 13 of the first 17 points for